And we are live. What's happening? Gene Ginsburg here.
Well, Angela Giles. So, I was just telling Gene, I'm a little on the tired side today because Gene and I got up super early. Well, I know I got up super early. I was up at like almost 5 and getting ready because we were on the Gary V T show this morning, and it was really fun. And it was very interesting, his perspective on social media. And so Gene and I were like talking about it, and we're like, we should talk about that today on our Facebook Live. So here we are.
Yeah. So we were on Tea with Gary V. Gary was kind enough to have us on the show. And actually, I'm going to update a little banner that says Our Tea with Gary V. That banner. And I'm going to say, okay, Our Tea with Gary V. Yeah. So it's a show he does pretty much every morning. Yeah, it was pretty early today, but we were talking to him about social media because, of course, tomorrow is Social Media Day, which is June 30th, and we're actually going to have an event, a summit for women entrepreneurs called the Women's Social Media Day Summit. It's tomorrow. It's pretty much all day long. And if you guys are women entrepreneurs, please sign up. We'll actually talk about that too. But let's talk about what we gleaned from our conversation with Gary V, right? So we were talking about social media and his thoughts on, social media. And Angela, do you want to share what you gleaned from Gary V?
Well, here's what I gleaned from Gary V is about social media is that it's kind of like pretend you're a brick and mortar business. And the one thing a brick and mortar business always does is have a storefront. Like you have a brick and mortar place where you come in and you have your stuff, whatever you sell. Well, Gary V basically, from my perspective, said, look, cost of doing business in today's online space and even in the brick and mortar space is social media. Like you must have social media. And one of the things that I feel like, and one of the questions was, and Gary expanded on this, was he talked about how there's so many people in the last 10 years, it's been the run of social media. There's been so many people that just come out and are, I'm a social media expert. I'm a social media expert. But that what they really don't do is frame the expectations for the client on what social media really is. And Gene, I think that you should share what your thoughts were on that.
Yeah, well, first of all, yes, absolutely. It's like, I like the fact that he mentioned that, yes, it's basically like, it's part of doing business now. It's no longer like an additional thing that you have to do if you really want to be successful. It's like, yeah, in order to have a business, you have to, have business operations. You have to have something to sell, a product, whether it's a digital product, a physical product, whatever it is, where you're selling something. You have to have a presence on social media. That's it. You can't anymore not have that. So it has to be part of your mindset that like social media is just part of your business. I like how you said it's like the cost of doing business. Like, so first of all, I really like that analogy and how you said that. And the other thing that I was going to talk about when it comes to what we discussed with Gary is that, setting expectations. So like, I think a lot of entrepreneurs, like for example, like we both, Angela and I have been in social media for a very long time. So like, we know what to expect. And when we discuss it with our clients or prospective clients, like we give them like, hey, you can do social media, but it's for organic, it's a more of just a long-term strategy. It's kind of like doing PR or, like gaining sales, like it's not going to happen overnight, right? So, but for paid media, you can definitely up your sales, but it's going to be paid, right? You have to pay for it. So, so in that case, like you have to set the expectations with your clients. Like if you are in social media, or if you're like a social media manager, if you have your own business or anything like that, like it's part of setting those expectations, making sure that entrepreneurs who are not familiar with social media are aware that it's like, it's like you have to do it in a certain way, and it's going to take a certain amount of time. It's not going to be an overnight success. Well, nothing is an overnight success.
Well, it's interesting to me. One of the things, like as entrepreneurs, Gene and I are always rolling out things in our own businesses and this fun group that we have together. We're always putting out new products, sharing new things. And one of the things I'm in the process of rolling out something new on my own brand, and I was thinking about that this morning. And then Gary Vee in his like intro said something, and it was just like, put your head down and do the work, right? And it's the same. And so I was like, wow, that's really timely for me. And I want to say the same thing to you as it relates to social media. You really, truly like. Social media is like you put your head down and you do the work. Like you just have to do your social media every day, whether you do it yourself or you hire an expert to do it, and just realize that's part of showing up every day. It's part of the cost of doing business, as building relationships with your community and new people as they get to know you. They want to see you. Like Gary said, someone's going to go check you out on Twitter. They're going to go check you out on Instagram or LinkedIn, wherever your people hang out, they're going to check you out to see if you're a real person, if you're active, if you know your stuff, if you're in the space. If you're not showing up, then truly you may not be as in someone's mind as like in the know as someone else that may have a, platform on Instagram or whatever. Like, it depends on where your people are. So I think that was very, very mindful for me, even just showing up all the time and making sure that people know your stuff, and you're showing up and you're sharing that with the world. It's not about you bragging anymore. Like some people used to think, oh, well, if I'm on social media so much, it's going to come across like I'm bragging. No, it actually is part of your business. That's how it is.
Yeah, like if you have, let's say, a brick and mortar store or a brick and mortar office, right? Like, and people come in there, like, you're not bragging to them. You're just like, here's what we have, and here's what we do, and here's our business. Like, you're not bragging to them. You're just like explaining to them. It's the same thing, only you're doing it digitally versus doing it like in person. And that's really the way things are moving forward, especially with the way, with COVID and how things have changed and how business has changed. Now you have to be online, like, because a lot of brick and mortar shops were either like put on hold or some of them had to close. Like, we have to now communicate with our audiences online, because that's how like the change has been, like, for better or worse. I don't know. I'm not judging. I'm just saying, like, that's just the way things are now. And so we need to embrace that change. And I know that's kind of hard for a lot of people to embrace that. But moving forward, it's going to be moving towards the online space.
Well, it really is. It absolutely is. So I would encourage you, if you're thinking about, okay, doing social media today, what is that going to look like for you? I'd actually encourage you to come join us tomorrow. We're having a free event called the Women's Social Media Day Summit. Social Media Day, so I always got my titles mixed up. But yeah, this Women's Social Media Summit. It's free to attend, and we're going to have experts on Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok, social media as a whole, like all kinds of PR, things like that. So you can learn and really figure out, okay, what platform do I really want to show up the most on? Because, there's a lot of platforms, and especially if you are just getting started or you're not sure which one you want to spend the most of your time on, it's good for you to understand what platforms are and where your people are. So you can, personally, I would show up where my people are, but, that's up to you as your business owner.
Yes, absolutely. So join us tomorrow. We would love to have you. It is an absolutely free event. It is for women entrepreneurs, by women entrepreneurs. And of course, everybody's welcome if you want to join us. If you're not a woman entrepreneur, of course, you are welcome. But we're just trying to make it a specific summit for anybody who, for women entrepreneurs. But, I guess everybody can use social media in their life and their business and their personal brand, whatever it might be. So please join us, socialmediaday.online, if you want to register. We would love to have you there. Follow the link. It's absolutely free. And we're also offering 2 days. Like, if you can't make it all day tomorrow, because it's pretty much all day, it's from like 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific, which is noon to 6 Eastern. If you can't make it all day tomorrow, then we are offering this also for free, the recordings for 2 days for 48 hours after the event, so you can have access to that. So you just have to sign up in order to get notified that the videos are ready to be viewed. So just sign up here. Even if you can't attend, we'll share the videos for 48 hours for free. After that, it's not going to be free after 48 hours. So you have 48 hours to review it. So we're giving it to you. We're adding value. We want to make sure you review it. But after that, then it's paid.
Well, so, it's really like you value things that you either take the time to watch or you pay for. I mean, at the end of the day, that's how business works. So we're really excited.
That's how everything works, right? Yeah. It's like either you take the time or you take the money to do it.
Amen.
So, yeah.
Very cool.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Go to socialmediaday.online. Join us for the event tomorrow. And we'd love to have you there. And we're super excited. We're going to have so many great speakers, all on the topics of social media. And we will see you there tomorrow.
See you there. Bye.
Bye.